Hey everyone, welcome back for another deep dive. Today we're taking a look at Sean Bean.
One of the most recognizable faces in film and television.
Exactly. We've got a great podcast transcript and a really interesting bio.
And I think what people will find interesting is that he's got a much more multifaceted personality than they might realize.
For sure. You know, one of the first things that jumped out at me was that he almost didn't go into acting at all.
Yeah, he started out as a welder.
Right. Born in Sheffield, son of a fabrication business owner, you can kind of see how that path would have been pretty straightforward for him.
Yeah, but then somewhere along the lines, he found a passion for acting.
And decided to pursue it seriously, first at Rotherham College of Arts and Technology.
And then at the Royal Academy of Dramatic Art.
That's quite a change, from welding torches to treading the boards.
It's a pretty big leap. And it really makes you wonder if those early blue-collar experiences, did they shape his approach to acting?
Totally makes sense. There's just something so authentic about his performances.
You can really tell that he understands what it means to embody a character.
And speaking of embodying a character,
His breakout role in Sharp.
I mean, come on, that was just perfect casting.
Yeah.
It's like the role was made for him.
Absolutely.
He didn't shy away from his Yorkshire accent or his rugged looks. He just owned them.
You know, in cognitive behavioral therapy, we call that reframing.
Reframing.
Taking something that's perceived as a negative and turning it into a positive.
Oh. Like instead of seeing his background and accent as a disadvantage.
He flipped the script. He made them into assets.
And they really do make him stand out.
Exactly. It's a really powerful message for anyone who feels like they don't fit the mold.
You don't have to try to conform. You can make your own path.
Exactly.
Now, I hate to say this, but even with his breakout success in Sharp, he's had to deal with his fair share of typecasting.
It's true.
I mean, you look at roles like Ned Stark in Game of Thrones.
And Boromir in Lord of the Rings.
These are characters known for their strength.
Their integrity.
And their sense of duty.
And how do they almost always end up?
Yeah.
It's almost become a running joke.
Yeah, Sean Bean dies and everything. But the interesting thing to me is instead of rejecting these roles, he's used them to show his range as an actor.
He's turned stereotypes into opportunities.
So he's essentially taking those roles and injecting them with more complexity.
And depth.
You know, it just makes you wonder, did he consciously choose to play these characters this way?
Or is it just something instinctive, like part of his process as an actor? I think that speaks to his talent as an actor.
For sure. And, you know, it's not just the characters he plays, it's also about his personality off screen.
You mean how private he is?
Yeah, in the source material, it says that he's actually known for being a man of few words.
Which is kind of surprising considering how powerful his presence is on screen.
Right. It really is a stark contrast.
It makes you think that there must be more going on beneath the surface.
Like a quiet intensity.
Exactly. And it makes me think that it informs his acting.
Definitely. It's not about being the loudest voice in the room, it's about those quiet moments of reflection.
The internal processing that allows him to tap into a character's emotions.
And I think that's why he's able to convey so much with just a single look.
Or a subtle gesture.
You know? It's like he understands the power of restraint.
And nonverbal communication.
He's not just delivering lines.
He's embodying the character's physicality.
Yeah.
Using his body language to show a depth of emotion.
And speaking of contrasts, there's this really interesting juxtaposition between the rugged, intense characters he plays and his hobbies.
Which are a lot more laid back.
Yeah, like gardening.
Sketching.
And even welding.
All activities that require a lot of focus and attention to detail.
Yeah, it makes you wonder, how do these interests feed back into his acting?
Well, I think it's about finding balance.
Balance.
Yeah, tapping into different aspects of his personality.
So the precision of welding.
The observation skills you need for sketching.
And even the nurturing aspect of gardening.
They can all be seen as parallels to acting.
It's like he's pulling from this well of diverse experiences.
And using those experiences to add complexity and depth to his performances.
It really challenges the idea that to be a great actor, you have to be completely consumed by your craft.
It's like you have to live and breathe your roles all the time.
But it's a good reminder that we're all complex.
With lots of different interests.
And those interests, even the ones that seem totally unrelated to our work,
they can contribute to our growth in surprising ways.
And that's what makes Sean Bean's journey so fascinating.
He's not just an actor.
He's an artist.
A craftsman.
And someone who's always looking for ways to grow.
And that leads us to something we just can't ignore.
The elephant in the room.
The fact that Sean Bean has started turning down roles where his character dies.
I mean, it's become a bit of a joke at this point.
but it's also a sign that he's actively trying to change how people see him.
It takes a lot of self-awareness to recognize those patterns and actually make a choice to change them.
Especially in an industry that loves to typecast actors.
It really is a powerful statement.
It shows that he's in control of his own career.
So how did he come to this decision?
It's hard to say for sure, but it's clear that he's not letting outside pressure dictate his choices.
It's a really powerful message for anyone who feels stuck.
In their career or just in life in general.
You have the power to break free from those limiting beliefs.
And create your own path.
Yeah, it's like he's saying, I'm more than just the guy who always dies.
Exactly, and I think it'll be really interesting to see what kind of roles he takes on from here.
Yeah. Will it change how directors see him?
Will audiences be open to seeing him in a different light?
Yeah, it's really fascinating.
It's like he's challenging the whole system a little bit.
Yeah, and for any artist who's trying to evolve,
Trying to grow.
it's a delicate balance.
Between staying true to yourself.
And giving the people what they want.
Yeah, those expectations can be tough.
But I think with Sean Bean, his willingness to take risks,
To really push the boundaries.
I think that'll actually help him in the long run.
Yeah, it shows a real fearlessness.
And a commitment to his craft.
Exactly. And as we wrap up our deep dive today.
I think the big takeaway for me is that it's about the journey.
Yeah, not just the roles he's played.
But his resilience.
His ability to adapt.
The fact that he's always evolving.
It's inspiring.
Yeah, and it's a good reminder that we all have the power to shape our own stories.
Defy those expectations.
And to keep growing throughout our lives.
Beautifully said.
So to everyone listening out there,
don't be afraid to break free.
Challenge the status quo.
And embrace the journey.
Who knows what you might discover? Thanks for joining us for another deep dive.
Until next time.